My beloved, there have been moments when you wondered if I had gone silent. You prayed. You waited. You searched for even the smallest sign that I was near. And when nothing seemed to change, a question slowly found its way into your heart. Are you still here? My child, I heard that question. I heard it even when you were afraid to say it aloud. I heard it in the nights when you lay awake, staring into the darkness, wondering why the answer had not come. I heard it when you wiped your tears before anyone could see them. I heard it when you smiled for others while something inside you was quietly growing tired. And I want you to hear me now. I never left. Not for one moment. You may not have felt my presence the way you wanted to feel it. You may not have seen my hand moving in the way you expected. You may have looked at your circumstances and wondered why I had not changed them yet. But my silence was never my absence. I was there. I was there when you whispered the same prayer again because you did not know what else to say. I was there when you had no words at all. I was there when your faith felt strong. And I was still there when your faith felt like a small flame struggling against the wind. You did not have to hold yourself together for me. I knew you were tired. I knew there were questions behind your prayers. I knew there were moments when you wanted to trust me but could not understand what I was doing. I did not turn away from you because of those moments. I came closer. My beloved, there are seasons when my presence will not be measured by what changes around you. Sometimes you will know me most deeply, not because the storm disappears, but because you begin to discover that you are not standing in it alone. That is what I want you to remember today. You are not alone. When loneliness tells you that no one understands, remember that I know the thoughts you cannot explain. When fear tells you that you have been forgotten, remember that I have never lost sight of you. When the silence feels heavy, do not allow it to become proof that I am far away. Stay close to me. Let your heart become quiet enough to hear this truth again. I am here, not only in the moments when you feel peaceful, not only when your prayers are answered, not only when the road makes sense. I am with you here, in this unfinished place. I am with you while you wait. I am with you while you heal. I am with you while you try to understand what this season means. And even now, when part of you may still be wondering how all of this will turn out, my hand has not released you. There were days you thought you were simply surviving. But I was carrying you through hours you did not think you could endure. There were mornings when getting up required more strength than anyone around you knew. There were evenings when your heart felt heavier than your words could describe. I saw every one of them. Every tear, every sigh, every quiet attempt to keep going. Nothing about your journey has been hidden from me. So do not be ashamed of the moments when you felt weak. Do not condemn yourself because you questioned. Do not believe that one difficult season has placed distance between us. My love for you has not changed. My presence has not withdrawn. And my care for you has not depended on how perfectly you have trusted me. My child, remember me when loneliness speaks louder than truth. Remember my voice when fear begins telling you that you have been abandoned. You may not always recognize my hand while you are walking through the valley, but one day you may look back and realize that there were places where you thought you were walking alone, yet you were being held the entire time. For now, you do not need to understand everything. Just stay near. Take the next breath with me. Take the next step with me. Let today be enough for today. I am not asking you to see the entire road. I am asking you to trust that I am on it with you, and perhaps the question still remains somewhere inside you. If you were with me, why did nothing change? If you heard me, why did the answer take so long? If your hand was holding me, why did everything seem so still? My beloved, what looked like stillness to you was not emptiness. There were things you could not see. There were places. My hand was already moving beyond the reach of your eyes. And while you thought nothing was happening, I was not inactive. My child, there are things I do quietly. There are works of my hands that do not announce themselves when they begin. You cannot always see them. You cannot always feel them. And because you have learned to look for visible change, there have been moments when you assumed that nothing was happening simply because nothing around you seemed different. But what looked like stillness was not emptiness. I was working. You saw the same circumstances when you woke each morning. I saw what was being prepared beneath them. You saw another day without the answer you had asked for. I saw things that were not ready yet. You saw delay. I saw preparation. And I know that waiting has not been easy for you. I know how difficult it is to keep believing when you cannot point to something and say, there. That is the proof that God is moving. You wanted a sign. You wanted progress. Perhaps you wanted just one small change to reassure your heart that your prayers had not disappeared into silence. I understand. I know the limits of your sight, my beloved. I know how quickly uncertainty can become fear when you have waited longer than you expected. But do not measure my faithfulness only by what your eyes can see. There are roots that grow before a flower ever breaks through the soil. There is preparation that happens before a new season can be recognized. And there are things I am doing in you that may not become clear until much later. While you have been asking me to change what surrounds you, I have also been strengthening what is within you. Your patience, your discernment, your dependence on me, your ability to remain when you would once have run, your willingness to pray even when prayer does not immediately change what you see. These things may seem small to you. They are not small to me. I am not wasting this season. Not one day of it. Even the days that seemed repetitive were not meaningless. Even the prayers that felt unanswered were drawing your heart into places of deeper honesty. Even the moments when you came to me with nothing but exhaustion mattered. You were learning that you could come to me without having beautiful words. You were learning that faith is not always a feeling. Sometimes faith is simply turning toward me again. One more time. One more morning. One more prayer. One more quiet decision not to walk away. That matters, my child, so trust me even here. Trust me before the explanation arrives. Trust me before the circumstances change. Trust me when all you can see is the same road you walked yesterday. I am not asking you to pretend that waiting feels easy. I am asking you not to confuse waiting with abandonment. They are not the same. There are times when I protect you by slowing your steps. There are times when what you are asking for requires more preparation than you can see. And there are times when I am preparing your heart before I lead you any farther. If I showed you everything at once, you would not need trust. But I am teaching you to walk with me without demanding that every part of the road be visible before you take the next step. Stay close. Do not run ahead because you are tired of waiting. Do not turn back simply because the path has become quiet. And do not force open what is not opened yet. Let me lead you at the pace of my grace. There is peace in surrendering the need to make everything happen according to your own timing. You have carried that pressure long enough. The pressure to know. The pressure to fix. The pressure to make the answer come faster. Release it. You are allowed to rest in my care while there are still unanswered questions. You are allowed to breathe while the story remains unfinished. You are allowed to have peace before you understand what I am doing. My presence is not waiting at the end of this season. I am with you inside it. Right here. Right now. And when impatience begins to whisper that you must take control, bring that fear back to me. Tell me what you are afraid will happen if you keep waiting. Tell me what you think you are losing. Tell me why this delay hurts. I already know, but I want you to bring your heart to me rather than allowing fear to carry it away. My beloved, I am not offended by your questions. I am inviting you to trust me within them. You may not see movement today. Stay close anyway. You may not understand the timing. Trust me anyway. You may still wake tomorrow and find that the situation looks much the same. Do not assume that means I have done nothing. Some of my deepest work begins where human eyes cannot reach. And when the right moment comes, you may understand why certain things could not be rushed. But even if understanding comes slowly, you can know this now. My silence is not inactivity. My delay is not indifference. My quietness is not distance. I am here. I am shaping what needs to be shaped. I am strengthening what needs to be strengthened. And I am guiding you with a wisdom that sees farther than you can see. So let your heart rest. You do not have to force tomorrow into today. Walk with me in the step that is before you. That is enough. Because sometimes, my guidance will not look like an open road. Sometimes, my care will appear as a pause. And sometimes, the very door you begged me to open will remain closed. I know how painful that can feel. I know how quickly a closed door can begin to sound like rejection. But, my child, not everything that does not open before you has been taken from you. Some doors remain closed because my love can see what your longing cannot. My beloved, I know how much you wanted that door to open. You stood before it with hope. You prayed about it. You imagined what might be waiting on the other side. Perhaps you believed that if this one thing finally happened, everything would begin to make sense. And then the door stayed closed. I know that hurt, beloved one. I know there were moments when you wondered whether I had rejected you. You watched something you wanted move farther away, and you could not understand why I would allow it. You asked me to change the situation. You asked me to make a way, and when I did not answer as you expected, disappointment entered your heart. My precious one, I did not look away from your disappointment. I was there inside it. I saw the future you had imagined. I saw how tightly your heart had begun to hold it, and I also saw what you could not see. You were looking at one door. I was looking beyond it. There are times when what feels like rejection is actually protection. There are times when a direction you desperately want is not the direction that will carry you where I am leading you. This does not mean every loss will immediately make sense. It does not mean you should pretend that losing something did not hurt. I know it hurt, but, dear one, your pain does not mean my love failed you. Sometimes my love says yes. Sometimes my love asks you to wait. And sometimes my love does not allow you to keep walking towards something simply because your heart has become attached to it. Trust me there too. You may see only what was taken away. I can see what would have followed. You may see the relationship that ended, the opportunity that disappeared, the plan that collapsed, or the future that did not unfold the way you hoped. I see farther than this moment. So when I ask you to release something, my child, do not believe that my hand has suddenly turned against you. Release it into my hands. You do not have to understand everything before you let go. I know that is difficult. Your heart wants explanations before surrender. It wants certainty before trust. But sometimes surrender comes first. Understanding may come later. And sometimes, beloved, you may never receive every answer you wanted. Still, I will remain worthy of your trust. Do not spend your strength standing before a door that I am asking you to leave behind. Do not keep measuring your worth by something that did not choose you. A closed door does not determine your value. A lost opportunity does not erase your purpose. Someone walking away does not mean you have become less precious to me. Look at me, my beloved. Your identity has never rested in what stayed. It rests in whose you are. You are mine. You are loved here. You are seen here. You are held here. Let that truth become stronger than the rejection you felt. I know there are things you still wish had happened differently, precious one. There are memories you revisit and questions that still have no clear ending. Bring them to me. You do not need to carry them alone. And when your mind begins building another version of the past one where the door opened, the person stayed, the opportunity remained, return to me. Stay here with me. You cannot live inside what might have been, but you can walk with me into what is still ahead. Do not rush. I am not asking you to replace what you lost with another dream today. I am asking you to trust my presence while your hands are still learning how to let go. There is tenderness in this place, dear one. Let me meet you here. Let me teach your heart that surrender is not the same as defeat. Sometimes surrender is simply the moment when you stop fighting to keep what you can no longer carry and allow me to lead you forward. So loosen your grip. Slowly, if you need to. Give me the plans you cannot rescue. Give me the answers you cannot force. Give me the door that would not open. I can hold what you cannot understand, and I can hold you while you grieve it. My child, I will never ask you to call something painless when it wounded you. I will never ask you to smile while your heart is breaking simply to prove that you trust me. Your tears do not frighten me. Your disappointment does not push me away. Your questions do not make me love you less. Come closer, because behind your struggle to understand the closed door, there is often a deeper wound you have been trying to hide. It is not only the loss that hurts, it is what the loss made you feel, forgotten, rejected, unwanted, perhaps even abandoned by me. My beloved, that is the place I want to touch next. Not by asking you to deny what happened, not by telling you that it should not hurt, but by meeting you honestly in the pain you have been carrying. You do not have to pretend with me. My beloved, you do not have to pretend with me. You do not have to tell me that you are fine when your heart is tired. You do not have to hide the tears you have been holding back. And you do not have to make your pain sound smaller simply because you think faith should make you stronger. I already know. I know where it hurts. I know the memory that still changes your mood when it crosses your mind. I know the disappointment you rarely speak about anymore because you are tired of explaining it. I know the question you have carried for so long that you almost stopped expecting an answer. My precious one, I see all of it, and I am not asking you to run from it. Bring it to me. Bring me the part of your heart that still feels rejected. Bring me the anger you have tried to bury. Bring me the confusion. Bring me the disappointment. Bring me the tears that come when no one else is watching. You do not need beautiful words. You only need honesty. There were moments, dear one, when you believed that being strong meant remaining silent about what hurt you. So you kept moving. You helped others. You answered when people needed you. You smiled when you had to. You carried responsibilities while something inside you was asking for rest. And because life continued, you assumed your heart had to continue at the same pace. But I saw what others did not see. I saw how tired you became. I saw the moments when one small thing suddenly felt too heavy because it was resting on top of everything else you had never released. I saw you trying to understand why something that happened so long ago could still hurt today. Beloved one, healing does not always happen according to the timetable you expect. Do not condemn yourself because you are still tender in places where you thought you should already be strong. Stay with me there. I am not impatient with your healing. I will not shame you for needing time. And I will never ask you to call a wound a blessing simply because I can bring something beautiful from what you endured. Pain is painful. Loss is loss. What broke your heart mattered. But listen to me, my child. Your pain will not have the final word over your life. What wounded you does not own you. What happened to you does not get to decide who you will become. I can meet you in the very place you thought would always remain broken. This is where I want you to change the way you see your wounds. Do not see them as proof that I abandoned you. Look again. I was near you there too. When you cried, I was near. When you could not pray, I was near. When all you could say was, God help me, I heard you. And when you said nothing at all, I still knew what your heart was trying to say. Come closer, my beloved. You have spent enough time trying to heal yourself by pretending the wound no longer exists. Let me meet you where you actually are, not where you think you should be, not where others expect you to be. Here, as you are. You may still have questions. Bring them. You may still feel sadness. Bring that too. You may even feel disappointed with me, because you do not understand why I allowed certain things to happen. My precious one, do not hide that from me. I would rather have your honest heart than words you think you are supposed to say. Trust is not pretending you understand. Trust is bringing me what you do not understand and choosing not to run from my presence. So stay. Stay when the memory returns. Stay when healing feels slow. Stay when your emotions surprise you. Let me remind you that you are safe in my presence even when your heart is not yet settled. I am not only the God of your strongest moments. I am here in your weakness. I am here in your confusion. I am here when you are tired of carrying what you thought you had already overcome. And slowly, beloved, something begins to change. Not always around you, sometimes within you. The wound that once controlled every thought begins to lose its power. The memory may remain, but it no longer speaks with the same authority. The disappointment may still be part of your story, but it no longer defines the ending. This is how I work in places others cannot see. Quietly, patiently, gently. I do not waste what you have endured. I can grow compassion where pain once lived. I can deepen wisdom where confusion once ruled. I can teach your heart tenderness without allowing bitterness to become its home. But hear me carefully, dear one. I am not saying you had to be wounded in order for me to love you. I am saying that even your wounds cannot place you beyond the reach of my redeeming grace. I can enter what was broken. I can meet you there. and I can lead you forward without asking you to deny where you have been. So give me permission to work slowly. Do not rush yourself because someone else thinks you should be over it. Do not compare your healing to another person's journey. Walk with me, one day at a time, one honest prayer at a time, one surrendered memory at a time. My child, you may not understand why every chapter was allowed to unfold the way it did. There may be questions that remain unanswered longer than you want, and that can be difficult, because part of you still believes that if you could only understand why, then perhaps your heart could finally rest. But, my beloved, peace does not always begin when every question receives an answer. Sometimes peace begins when you discover that you can place the unanswered question in my hands. You do not need to understand everything in order to keep walking with me. My beloved, you do not need to understand everything in order to keep walking with me. I know how much your heart wants answers. You want to know why it happened, why it had to happen that way, why I allowed something you prayed against, why the answer did not come sooner, why one season lasted so much longer than you expected. And perhaps, dear one, you have believed that if I would only explain everything to you, then you could finally rest. I understand that desire. You are trying to make sense of what you have lived through. You look backward and connect the moments. You replay conversations. You wonder whether you missed something. You ask yourself what you could have done differently. Then you look ahead, and there are questions there too. What happens next? How long will this last? What if things do not work out? What if another door closes? What if you make the wrong decision? My precious one, I know how exhausting it is to live between questions about yesterday and fears about tomorrow. Come back to me. Come back to this moment. You do not need the entire map today. You only need the next step. And you do not take that step alone. I am with you. Sometimes you ask me to show you the whole road because you believe seeing it would give you peace. But, my child, peace is not found in knowing everything that will happen. Peace is found in knowing who walks with you when you do not know. Let that truth settle into your heart. You may not know what tomorrow will bring, but you know I will be there. You may not understand why yesterday unfolded as it did, but you can know that I did not abandon you inside it. You may not know how the pieces will come together, but you can place those pieces in my hands. Trust me with what you cannot explain, beloved one, not because your questions are unimportant, not because your pain does not deserve tenderness, but because some answers are beyond what you can see from where you are standing now. You are looking from the middle of the story. I see farther. There are things you call interruptions that I can use for redirection. There are seasons you call empty that I can fill with quiet formation. There are pauses you fear are permanent that may simply be places where I am teaching your heart to stop running ahead of me. You do not have to solve the mystery before you surrender it. Give it to me. Give me the question that returns when the room becomes quiet. Give me the future you keep trying to predict. Give me the need to know exactly how everything will work out. Your mind was never meant to carry tomorrow all at once. Walk with me today, dear one. Just today. When tomorrow comes, I will meet you there too. This is how trust grows. Not always through great moments, often through small surrender. You wake up and choose me again. You face uncertainty and say, I still trust you. You feel fear rising and bring it to me instead of allowing it to lead you. You do not have all the answers, yet you take another step. That is faith, my beloved. Faith does not mean you never ask why. Faith does not mean uncertainty never frightens you. Faith means your unanswered questions do not have to pull you away from my presence. Bring them closer. Bring them into prayer. Let your questions become places where you meet me instead of walls you build between us. My child, there will be things in this life that remain mysterious for longer than you would choose. Do not let mystery become resentment. Let it become an invitation to know me beyond what I give you, an invitation to trust my character when you cannot trace my hand, an invitation to discover that my presence can become enough even before the explanation arrives. Stay close to me. You have spent so much energy trying to understand what I am asking you simply to entrust to me. Rest your mind for a while, precious one. You do not need to examine every possibility tonight. You do not need to rehearse every outcome. You do not need to prepare yourself emotionally for every painful thing that might never happen. Fear wants to take you into a future where you imagine yourself alone. But I am not asking you to live there. I am asking you to remain here with me. Take this breath. Receive this moment. Let me carry what belongs to tomorrow. There is freedom in saying, I do not know, but I know you are with me. There is peace in saying, I cannot see the way yet, but I will not run ahead. And there is strength in whispering, I trust you, even when your heart is still learning how. My beloved, I am not disappointed by that small faith. Bring me what you have. If today all you can offer is one uncertain step toward me, take that step. I will meet you in it. If all you can pray is, help me trust you, let that be your prayer. I hear it. I receive it. And I will continue walking with you, one step, then another. You may discover, dear one, that when you stop demanding an answer from every moment, you begin noticing something you were too anxious to see before. My presence has been leaving traces around you, not always in dramatic signs, not always in extraordinary moments. Sometimes, my love has been much quieter than that. It has been waiting for you in things you almost walked past. So, my beloved, look again. My beloved, look again. You have been waiting for something unmistakable. A sudden answer. A dramatic change. A moment so clear that you could finally say, now I know you are here. But while your eyes were searching for the extraordinary, my love was meeting you in the ordinary. I have been closer than you realized, dear one. Think of the mornings when you woke after a difficult night and somehow found enough strength to begin again. Think of the moment a familiar verse spoke differently because you needed those words that day. Think of the person who reached out when your heart was especially tired. The quiet conversation, the unexpected kindness, the few minutes of peace you could not explain. You may have called these things small. But, my child, do not rush past what is small. My presence does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes I meet you in quietness. Sometimes, my care is found in enough strength for one more day. Sometimes, it is a moment of rest after hours of worry. Sometimes, it is the simple reminder that despite everything you have carried, you are still here, still breathing, still seeking me, still moving forward. Open your eyes, beloved one. Not because every ordinary event is a hidden message you must decode. You do not need to live searching anxiously for signs. I want something gentler for you. I want you to become aware of grace, aware of goodness, aware of the small gifts you once overlooked because your heart was focused entirely on what had not happened yet. You prayed for tomorrow and almost missed the mercy I gave you today. You waited for the entire road to become clear and almost missed the light I gave you for the next step. Slow down, my precious one. Look at what is already here, the breath in your lungs, the people who still love you, the quiet place where you can speak with me, the sunrise that arrived without asking whether yesterday had been difficult, the moments of laughter that returned when you thought joy had disappeared. Receive them. Let gratitude teach your heart to notice again. This does not mean ignoring what is still painful. You can be grateful and still be waiting. You can recognize goodness and still have unanswered prayers. You can experience my peace while part of your life remains unfinished. Both can exist together, dear one. Do not believe you must wait until everything is resolved before you allow yourself to receive what I am giving you now. I am here now. Stay with me here. When you wake tomorrow, do not immediately run into everything you fear about the future. Pause. Remember me. When something beautiful crosses your path, let yourself notice it. When kindness reaches you, receive it. When your heart becomes peaceful for even a moment, do not dismiss that peace because your circumstances have not changed. Let it remind you that your circumstances are not the only thing shaping your life. My presence is here too. My beloved, there were days you thought nothing good was growing because you were looking only at the thing you had lost. But something has been happening quietly within you. You are beginning to notice differently. You are learning to value peace more deeply. You are learning that a simple day can still contain grace. You are learning to recognize how much strength was hidden inside the moments when you simply chose to keep going with me. Give thanks for these small things. Hold them gently. Let them remind you that your story has never consisted only of pain. I have been present in the spaces between the difficult moments too. And as you begin to see those traces, my child, I want you to notice something else. Look at yourself. Not with criticism, not through the eyes of who you used to be. Look at the person who has walked through this season and is still standing. You thought you were only surviving it. But, beloved, while you were walking through it, something within you was quietly changing. My beloved, something within you has been changing. Perhaps you have not noticed it because you have been too close to the journey. You remember the tears. You remember the waiting. You remember how difficult some days were. But I see something else too. I see who you are becoming. There was a time when uncertainty immediately filled you with fear. Now, even when fear comes, part of your heart knows where to turn. There was a time when you needed everything to happen according to your plan before you could feel at peace. Now you are learning to breathe inside the unfinished places. That growth matters, dear one. Do not overlook it. You thought you were only surviving. But survival was not the whole story. While you kept walking, patience was growing. While you kept praying, trust was deepening. While you were learning to release what you could not control, your heart was becoming more dependent on me. Not perfectly, not quickly, but truly. My child, I have never demanded instant transformation from you. Growth often happens quietly. A tree does not become strong in a single morning, and neither does a heart. There are things I form slowly, because they are meant to become deeply rooted. So do not despise slow progress. Do not look at yourself only through what still needs healing. Look at how far you have already walked with me. You are more discerning than you once were. Some things that once attracted you no longer have the same hold on your heart. Some voices you once followed no longer determine your decisions. You have begun to recognize the difference between urgency and guidance, between fear and wisdom, between forcing your way forward and waiting for peace. Beloved one, these changes did not appear overnight. They were formed through many small moments when you chose to return to me. And even your weakness has taught you something. It has taught you that you cannot be your own source. It has taught you to pray more honestly. It has taught you compassion for people whose struggles you once could not understand. You are becoming softer in some places and stronger in others. That is not contradiction. That is growth. Let me continue, my precious one. Do not rush the work because you are eager to reach the next season. You often ask me, when will this finally be over? But sometimes I am asking your heart a different question. What are you learning while you are here? Not because I delight in your difficulty. I do not. But because I will not abandon you inside it, and I can redeem even the seasons you would never have chosen. Stay teachable. Stay near me. Let me remove what fear has built in you. Let me deepen what suffering has made tender. Let me teach you to trust without needing to control. You do not need to become someone impressive, dear one. You only need to remain willing. I am not shaping you so that you can prove your strength to the world. I am drawing you toward a life that depends more deeply on me. And one day you may encounter someone standing where you once stood. Someone waiting. Someone confused. Someone quietly wondering whether they have been forgotten. You will recognize something in their eyes because you have carried that question too. And perhaps you will not give them a perfect answer. Perhaps you will simply stay. You will listen without rushing them. You will speak with tenderness because you remember what careless words felt like when your own heart was wounded. You will offer patience because patience was once what you needed most. My beloved, this is another way I redeem what you have endured. I do not call the wound good. I bring goodness into the places the wound tried to occupy. I do not erase your story. I transform the way it lives within you. What once made you feel isolated can deepen your compassion. What once made you feel weak can teach you how to sit beside another person without judgment. What once made you ask, "Where are you, God?" can someday help you remind another weary heart, you are not alone. So let me keep forming you, my child. There is more happening here than you can see, and what I am healing within you was never meant to end with you. As my love restores your heart, it will begin to change the way you carry the hearts of others. My beloved, what I am healing within you can change the way you carry the hearts of others. You know what it feels like to hurt quietly now. You know that someone can smile and still be tired. You know that a person can say, "I'm fine," while carrying questions they do not know how to explain. And because you know, dear one, you can begin to see people differently. You may become slower to judge, quicker to listen, more willing to stay. There was a time when you thought helping someone meant finding the right words. Now you understand that sometimes love simply sits beside a hurting heart and does not rush it. Sometimes love listens. Sometimes love gives another person room to breathe. Sometimes love says, "I may not understand everything you are feeling, but you do not have to carry it alone." My child, this tenderness growing within you is precious to me. Do not mistake it for weakness. The world may teach you to protect yourself by becoming harder after you have been hurt. But I can teach your heart another way. You can become wiser without becoming cold. You can have boundaries without losing compassion. You can remember what happened without allowing bitterness to decide how you treat everyone who comes after it. Let me teach you that kind of strength, beloved one. I am not asking you to trust everyone. I am not asking you to return to places that continually wound you. I am asking you to let my love remain alive within you. Do not allow what someone did to you to determine the amount of love you are capable of giving. Bring the bitterness to me. Bring the resentment. Bring the moments when you want another person to understand exactly how deeply they hurt you. I know those feelings are real, my precious one. Give them to me slowly if you need to. Forgiveness does not require you to pretend nothing happened. It does not make wrong things right. But it can loosen the grip that yesterday still has on your heart. Let me lead you there. Not through pressure, not through shame, through grace. And as you receive grace, let grace begin to shape the way you see others. There may be someone near you who needs the patience you once prayed to receive. Someone may need to be heard without being corrected. Someone may need kindness on a day when you have no idea how close they are to giving up. You do not need to perform something extraordinary, dear one. A gentle word can matter. A patient response can matter. A moment of genuine attention can matter. Let my presence be felt through the way you love. When you see someone struggling, remember how much you once needed tenderness. When someone is waiting for an answer, remember your own waiting. When someone is afraid, do not rush to tell them they should have more faith. Sit with them, encourage them, remind them that I am still near. My beloved, I can redeem what you have endured without calling the pain good. Hear that clearly. I did not need your heart to be broken in order to love you. But no broken place is beyond my ability to bring forth something beautiful. Where pain tried to create bitterness, I can grow compassion. Where rejection tried to make you close your heart, I can grow discernment without destroying tenderness. Where loneliness told you that no one cared, I can teach you to notice the lonely person standing beside you. This is redemption, my child. Not pretending the wound never happened, not erasing your story, but refusing to let darkness decide what your story produces. Let me redeem it. Let my love move through the places I am restoring. You do not have to save anyone. That burden does not belong to you. You only need to remain close enough to me that my love can shape your words, your patience, and the way you respond. And remember, beloved one, you cannot pour endlessly from your own strength. You were never meant to. There will be days when you have compassion for everyone around you and very little strength left for yourself. There will be moments when responsibilities gather faster than you can carry them. And when that happens, do not believe you must become stronger on your own. Come back to me, because, my precious one, you were never meant to carry everything by yourself. My precious one, you were never meant to carry everything by yourself. I know you have tried. You have tried to stay strong for the people who depend on you. You have tried to solve problems before anyone noticed you were struggling. You have carried responsibilities, expectations, worries, and questions while telling yourself, I can handle this. And for a while, perhaps you did. But, my beloved, even the strongest heart becomes tired when it carries what was never meant to be carried alone. I see that tiredness. I see the moments when you want to rest, but your mind will not stop. I see how quickly one responsibility becomes another. I know the pressure you place on yourself to keep everything together. You fear that if you loosen your grip, something will fall apart. So you keep holding, you keep planning, you keep thinking, you keep carrying tomorrow before today is finished. Dear one, come back to me. You do not have to be your own source. You do not have to create enough strength for every day that lies ahead. I am not asking you to prove how much you can endure. I am asking you to lean on me. There is no shame in saying, I am tired. There is no failure in admitting, I cannot do this alone. Those words can become the beginning of surrender. My child, weakness does not make you less precious to me. Your limitations do not disappoint me. I knew them before you ever discovered them yourself. And still I called you mine. Still I loved you. Still I remained beside you. So stop measuring your worth by how much you can carry without asking for help. Put something down. Give me the fear you keep rehearsing. Give me the outcome you are trying to control. Give me the responsibility that belongs to tomorrow. Give me the need to make everything turn out exactly as you planned. Let your hands open, beloved one. You cannot receive peace while gripping everything in fear. Trust me with what you release. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you ignore your responsibilities. It means you stop acting as though everything depends entirely on you. Do what is yours to do today. Then let me hold what you cannot control. One step, one decision, one day at a time. Stay close to me there. When you do not know what decision to make, ask me for wisdom. When you feel overwhelmed, come before me before fear begins speaking for you. When you are exhausted, allow yourself to rest without believing that rest makes you weak. I am still God while you sleep, my beloved. The world does not depend on your constant effort. Let that truth bring relief to your heart. You have spent so much time trying to become strong enough for everything, but I am teaching you something better. Dependence, not helplessness, not passivity. Dependence. The quiet confidence that says, I will do what I can, and I will trust God with what I cannot. That kind of trust frees your heart from carrying burdens that were never yours. And, dear one, you may have to surrender the same burden more than once. That is all right. When fear returns, bring it back. When control returns, open your hands again. When tomorrow begins occupying your thoughts, return to today. Return to me. I will not grow tired of receiving you. I will not say, you already prayed about this. Come again. Lean again. Trust again. My precious one, this is what closeness with me looks like in ordinary life. Not perfect faith, not constant strength, a heart that keeps returning. And when you return, remember how far we have already walked together. Remember the nights you thought would break you. Remember the seasons you thought you could not survive. You are still here. Not because you carried everything perfectly, not because you always knew what to do. You are here because grace met you again and again. My beloved, that same grace is here now. You do not have to know what comes next. You do not have to prepare for every possibility. Stay near me. Let me be your strength where yours has reached its limit. Let me carry what your heart was never designed to hold. And as you finally loosen your grip, listen again to the question that began this journey. Are you still here? My child, after everything we have walked through together, I want you to hear my answer clearly. I was beside you then, and I am beside you now. Yes, my beloved, I am still here. I was beside you then. I am beside you now, and I will be with you in the steps you have not taken yet. You do not have to wonder whether my presence disappeared during the seasons when you could not feel me. Look back, dear one, not to reopen every wound, not to live again in what hurt you. Look back only long enough to recognize how many moments you thought would overcome you, yet somehow you kept walking. I was there. When you prayed and heard no answer, I was there. When you waited longer than you wanted, I was there. When the door remained closed and your heart could not understand why, I was there. When you cried over what you lost, I did not turn away. When you had questions you were afraid to ask, I stayed. And when you became too tired to carry everything yourself, my grace did not leave you. My child, you were never walking through those places alone. You may not have recognized my hand, but my hand had not released you. You may not have understood my silence, but my silence had not separated me from you. Let this truth become stronger than the fear that brought you here. I have not left you. So when another uncertain day comes, do not immediately assume that uncertainty means you have lost your way. Stay close to me. When you cannot see the entire road, take the step that is before you. When something does not open, do not force it from fear. When your heart hurts, bring the pain to me instead of hiding it. When questions remain unanswered, place them in my hands. And when you become tired, beloved one, lean on me again. You do not need perfect faith to walk with me. You only need a heart willing to return. Return when you are peaceful. Return when you are afraid. Return when you understand. Return when nothing makes sense. I will meet you there, again and again. My precious one, tomorrow does not need to be carried today. Let it come when it comes. I will already be there. The same presence that held you yesterday will meet you tomorrow. So breathe. Let your heart rest for a moment. You are held. You are known. You are loved. And you are not forgotten. There may still be things in your life that remain unfinished after these words. That is all right. Your circumstances do not have to change immediately for my presence to be real. You do not need a dramatic sign to know that I am near. Remember what you have learned in the quiet places. My love can meet you in an ordinary morning. My grace can sustain you through an unanswered prayer. My wisdom can guide you when you cannot see beyond the next step, and my strength can carry you when yours feels small. Walk forward with me, dear one, not hurriedly, not fearfully, one step at a time. Let me lead. Let me heal what still needs tenderness. Let me form what still needs time. Let me carry what is too heavy for your hands, and let my love move through you wherever I lead you next. When loneliness whispers again, remember my voice. When silence makes you question me, remember my presence. When fear tells you that you must face everything alone, answer it with what you know now. I am with you, my beloved. You have never been outside my sight, not in the valley, not in the waiting, not in the loss, not in the questions, not even in the moments when you doubted whether I was near. I was beside you then. I am beside you now. So keep your heart near mine. Trust me with what you cannot see. Receive today without carrying all of tomorrow, and walk forward knowing this. You are deeply loved. You are gently held. You are being guided. And wherever this road leads next, you will not walk it alone. I am here, my child. Stay close. Amen.